The Women by Kristen Hanna. The Women by Kristen Hanna is a compelling novel set during the tumultuous time of the Vietnam War, focusing on the lives of three remarkable women who serve as nurses. The story centers around Frankie McGrath, a young nursing student from California, who feels trapped by her sheltered upbringing and the expectations placed on her by her conservative family. As the story begins, Frankie is in nursing school, feeling the weight of her family's expectations. Her brother, a soldier, is deployed to Vietnam, and this event shakes her world. Frankie is deeply affected by his service and the dangers he faces. Motivated by love for her brother and a desire to make a difference, she decides to join the Army Nurses Corps. This decision marks the beginning of her journey into a world filled with uncertainty and danger. When Frankie arrives in Vietnam, she quickly realizes that war is far from what she imagined. The chaos and brutality of battle are overwhelming. She is stationed at a field hospital where she must treat severely injured soldiers. The sights and sounds of war are shocking. Blood, fear, and pain surround her every day. Despite the horror, Frankie finds strength in her work and begins to bond with her fellow nurses. Two key characters join Frankie on this journey: Barb and Ethel. Barb is a bold and confident nurse who often speaks her mind, while Ethel is more reserved but deeply compassionate. Together, they form a close friendship that helps them cope with the challenges they face. Their camaraderie becomes a lifeline as they navigate their roles in a war zone. As the story progresses, we see how each woman deals with the emotional toll of their experiences. Frankie struggles with feelings of helplessness as she treats young men who are gravely injured or dying. She often reflects on her brother's safety and worries about whether he will return home alive. This internal conflict adds depth to her character and highlights the personal sacrifices made by those who serve in war. A significant turning point occurs when Frankie receives devastating news about her brother. He has been injured in combat, which sends her into a spiral of fear and anxiety. This moment not only tests Frankie's resilience but also deepens her commitment to helping others. She channels her pain into her work, determined to save as many lives as possible. The novel also explores themes of love and loss. As Frankie grows closer to her fellow nurses, she learns about their lives back home and their reasons for joining the army. Each woman has her own story. Barb is fighting against societal norms, while Ethel seeks purpose beyond traditional roles. Their shared experiences create strong bonds that help them endure the horrors of war. As the war continues, the emotional strain becomes unbearable for many nurses. Frankie faces moral dilemmas as she witnesses the consequences of war firsthand. One particularly harrowing scene involves a young soldier who arrives at the hospital with severe injuries that leave him unable to speak or move. This encounter profoundly impacts Frankie and forces her to confront the harsh realities of war. After months of serving in Vietnam, Frankie and her friends finally return home. However, this return is not what they expected. Instead of being celebrated as heroes, they face indifference from society and struggle to reintegrate into civilian life. Many people do not understand what they experienced or how it has changed them. Frankie grapples with post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD), haunted by memories of the battlefield and the lives she could not save. The novel poignantly illustrates how veterans often feel alienated upon returning home, highlighting a critical issue faced by many service members. In conclusion, The Women by Kristen Hanna is a powerful exploration of friendship, sacrifice, and resilience in the face of adversity. Through Frankie's journey and those of her fellow nurses, readers gain insight into the often overlooked contributions of women during wartime. The novel serves as a reminder that while war may change people forever, it can also forge unbreakable bonds between those who share similar experiences. Ultimately, The Women emphasizes that courage comes in many forms and that healing is possible through connection and understanding.